Annabelle and House of Colour. Okay, Annabelle is a mum to two girls who are now teenagers, and House of Colour started 2 years ago, or House of Colour Longfield, I should say, started 2 years ago as my business. But for me, it actually started 7 years ago when I had my colours done, and I found that I was actually more in focus in the right colors. I was no longer invisible. I was no longer blending into the background. And as I said, I came alive in, finding the right colors. And the confidence that actually came from that made such a difference to my life, and has made such a difference to my life ever since. For me, like when people ask you, what's your story, why do you do things, at the point, sometimes you don't actually realize why you're doing it. It's only when you start to reflect, you realize why. And for me, it was my daughter. She was born with with additional health needs. And by the time, as I said, 7 years ago, it coincided with the time where I needed to find my voice in order to step up and stand for Talia. I needed to be her advocate. I needed to make sure that she got the services that she was entitled to. And I just found that by actually, as I said, standing up, finding my voice, I was able to speak for her. And 2 years ago, I was in the she's now grown up, she's gone to school. And I said to my husband, I went, it's now time for me to do something for myself. And this is what I want to do. This is, as I said, the confidence that I got from House of Colour, from finding my own voice. I want other people, other women, other men, to find that for themselves as well. And, in that time that I did, my husband had his colours done, my children, my sisters, I was just like, you've got to have this done. This is an amazing thing, come and have it colours done. And everyone ever since has said, oh my God, it's just been life-changing from themselves. And I was like, I can do this. This is something I feel so passionate about. I want to, not just to be my family, I want to be able to do that and help other people to find their passion, find their voice, find their purpose as well, be it through colour, be it through style, but that gives them the confidence to go forward to find their own purpose as well. It's been my family, actually, because I think without family support and, both financial and emotional as well, and, letting me do what I want, that has been an absolute godsend. And then also within the business itself, within House of Colour, if I needed advice on social media, there's somebody within the business to go to. If they, needed business coaching, if I needed emotional support, it's such a brilliant network. Okay, we may have our own businesses, but as a team, as a franchise, as a global company, there's that you can always support each other. And during lockdown, we actually had weekly Zoom meetings, so that if we had any problems, we've had a really, really rubbish week, we've had a brilliant week, we've had a week where we just can't get out of bed, and talk to somebody. And that just makes such a difference, because, we've talked about this before, where you're not alone. You've got that support. Someone will say something, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can get out of bed, I can do this, I can do that. And that has just been invaluable, I think. So it's, it's surrounding yourself with the people who are going to buoy you up, who are going to give you that support, and not always bring you down, always drag you down, and always go, actually, what are you talking about? You don't know nothing about that. And you don't want that. You don't need that negativity. The more people you support, the more people you help, the more your own message goes out for everything, just helps other people as well. The last 12 months I've actually started to pay off, because I said I've only been in business 2 years, but the networking, people begin to see me, I turn up, as I said, I am who I am, they'll come, get to know me a bit better, speak to other clients as well of mine. Word gets around, and that's what about networking is, as I said, you may not need my services, but you may recommend me to somebody else, the same way I may not need an insurance broker, but I will know somebody else within my network who will use it. And I'll say, and that's what networking is about. It's about passing referrals here, there and everywhere. And that is beginning to take off. And my name is getting out there, I have been asked to do a couple of presentations. I was asked to do a women, so Be the Best You, so Women Back in Work presentation last year, and I was asked again to do it this year. You know, working on more collaborations as well with different, you know, with other stylists, with different companies, with different industries as well. And that is just showing you how, you know, even with the recent situation, how things can actually, you know, to work. You know, it's just collaborations just has been vital, I think, with, you know, getting your name out there, getting people to know who you are as well, and, you know, making others realize that it's not a competition. People work better when you've got things in common as well. As I said, the job that I did was actually recommended to me by a stylist. You know, she couldn't do it, so she put my name forward. So I think it's a great compliment to me that someone else within the industry has actually recommended me as well. As you can imagine, with COVID, we've had no clients in the studio at all. So everything has had to go online. Obviously, colour analysis is not something that we will do online, but, you know, styling has gone online, wardrobe detoxing, you know, online shopping as well. That's become a really, really, you know, more so now because we couldn't get to the shops. But for me, it's been the one-to-ones that I've had. I've actually had more time to get to know people better, because if you're out and about, you're spending, you know, 40 minutes traveling here, there, you have about 20 minutes with somebody, whereas, you know, you get to know people a little bit better. Also, actually then working and making plans for the future. So I have done, you know, training on social media. So that again, has been something that I was never very good at, but I'm now gotten better at it, doing a course with Zoe Cairns. I've done some, you know, passive income courses as well, again, to learn how to, you know, bring money should this ever arise again, you know that you still got money coming in. I have done additional training with House of Colour as well, you know, which has made such a difference. And it's, for me, it's about the continual learning. You know, I've used this time to better myself, learn from, you know, the past, learn how to future-proof my business as well. So I think, and well, with all the personality testing that we've done and trained on, is I'm quite empathetic. Okay, I can relate to not obviously you can't relate yourself to every situation, but it's about knowing that that person is going through something which will be changing. A client of mine has had breast cancer. So whereas I haven't had it, but my mother-in-law did, you know. So I know the feelings that I went through, as did my husband, you know, when she went there. So you're able to then not sympathize, but empathize with, you know, the journey that they've gone through, you know. And it's about finding that connection. Is you know, everyone says is that know, like, and trust. You find a connection with the person you're speaking to. Even if it's about a football team, I know very little about football, but I can comment on it, you know. So you get that conversation started, you know, and it's about getting to know other people as well, getting to know them, you know, and learning about them. Not always speaking about yourself, because I'm quite happy to listen and learn about others, and then, you know, find out what their story is, find out what their journey has been, you know. And that's how you then get, you know, conversations going. You know, lead to other collaborations, it leads to other meetings, you know. And what's unique about me? I don't know. I don't like talking about myself that much. I think I'm trying to keep it real. That's what it is. I just kind of keep it real, you know. I think a lot more people now are realizing that color and style do actually have an impact on their lives. I asked a question recently on social media as to whether or not you see it as a luxury, do you see it as something frivolous, or is it a life skill? And in my opinion, it is a life skill. It is something that you will take with you in both your personal and your business life. You know, the confidence that you get when you know your colors, when you've stepped out there knowing that your style is right, that helps again in both your business and your personal life. And then also, as I said, it's an investment. And so it's something that it's a lifelong skill you'll take with you everywhere you go. And I think a lot more people are becoming open to the idea of it as well, and they're seeing the visible impact of it. I've got a lot more male clients coming along as well, because, you know, even if they've seen it for themselves, i.e. they want to go for promotion within the company, or they are looking for a new job, they want to stand out from, you know, the candidates that they have, or sometimes their wives have told them that, you know, they've had such an amazing experience, you know, I'm going to send you out to do it. You know, I did that to my husband, you know, it's made my life a lot easier. So, you know, Christmas and birthday shopping and he wants clothes, I'll be like, okay, I know exactly where to go and buy clothes for you. So again, that's made my life a lot easier. And I've actually noticed a lot more children as well, because they are learning or realizing the fact that, you know, jobs, especially, you know, for interview, for universities, for jobs, they want to be able to stand out. You know, there's so much coaching on, you know, CV writing, on, you know, UCAS applications, on, you know, what to expect for CVs. But how do you stand out if you've got, you know, you're going for a university place, there's only 300 spaces, for example, you've got 1,000 pupils applying, you know, what's going to make you different? What's going to make you stand out? And I think a lot more children, especially, you know, the age 17 to 19 range, are beginning to realize the benefits of it. One thing that has come out recently from this is sustainability. The planet, the earth, you know, how it is crying out for people to actually start making the change now. And so House of Colour have always advocated the use of what we call cost per wear, about buying quality items and getting the most use out of it, so that you're actually incorporating clothes that you've got, you know, in your wardrobe that will actually stand the test of time. Because when you've got your style right, it doesn't matter what's coming in fashion, what's out of fashion, your style is always going to be your style. Trends in fashion will come and go, okay? And that is the way that we can actually start to make a change within the industry. Small bits, but, you know, you've got to start somewhere, don't you? Right, we'd come to my beautiful studio here, and I would, you know, I have to have a quick chat about why you're here, what your aims are, what your objectives are, and just trying to find, as I said, getting to know you a little bit more. And then we'd actually go through the process of identifying what season you are. So using these lovely drapes, of which there are 144 precision dyed drapes, would actually work out which season you fall into. So you'd either be an autumn, a spring, a winter, or a summer. And after I've identified which season you fall into, you get a wallet, and then we actually work out what we call our wow colors, you know, the ones that make you look absolutely, you know, your standout colors. And you get a little book to goes with it that then, you know, gives you, you know, tips on how to use your wardrobe, you know, how to get the best out of your colors, how to, you know, for a lady, you know, hair color, you know, tights, makeup, you know, lipsticks, you know, things like that, you know. And you know, you go away hopefully feeling a lot more confident than what you walked into. And, you know, if you had only came in here and you know, I found out from you that you only had like 6 or 7 colors in your wardrobe. Well, when you leave, you've got 36 colors in your wardrobe now. So, you know, it's just absolutely an eye opener. And you're thinking, aha, I've not actually restricted myself. I've actually opened up more colors into my life. One color that suits everybody is true red. So if, for example, you had an important meeting to go into that you needed a little bit of boost of confidence, wear something red. And I don't mean a Santa suit or anything like that, or, you know, a 1980s power suit, but, you know, if you're a lady, a red shirt or a scarf, or have a red handbag if you don't want to be wearing on your clothes, you know. For a man, you could think of a tie, or, you know, no, I wouldn't say belts, but, you know, your socks. And no one's going to see them, but you know personally that that's what you've got on. It's giving you that boost of confidence. If you don't know your colors, you haven't got reds, you know, think about when you've worn something and someone has said, oh my God, you look amazing in that color, you know. That is the start of it. You know, you think about it. Black, unfortunately, does not suit everybody, and people use it to hide in. So do you find yourself wearing a lot of black, you know? So if you are uncomfortable with it, introduce a little bit of color slowly by slowly, you know. I always say start small. A belt, pair of shoes, earrings, necklace, you know. For men, it would be, a belt, it would be their socks, it would be their ties, Sometimes I would say underwear as well. No one's going to know it, but you yourself have known that you've worn something funky coloured, underneath, your suit or whatever, So it's whatever gives you confidence. And that is what it's all about. It's about getting that confidence and going out there and rocking it, owning it, own your style. I think for me personally, I want to get out there for, entrepreneurs, business owners who want to make a difference. If you know that you're going to be on stage, you're a speaker, what's going to make you stand out from the rest of the speakers on stage? Yeah. Getting noticed. Okay. You're a new business, you are a business coach. There are probably 27, 37 coaches within your networking. How are you going to stand out and make a difference so that people will go, oh yes, I remember her, I remember him. And it starts with colour. Colour leads to style, which leads to confidence. And your confidence will always sell. That's my opinion. And I'm also going to be working with, getting, as I said, unfortunately with the current way it is, with redundancies, again, helping people with their confidence to get out there, nail that interview. If you've not done an interview for 20 odd years, all of a sudden it's changed, you're having to do it online, you're having to do it on Zoom, you're like, what is all this, So it's about giving the people that confidence, the tips, the little things that they need to know, the nuggets to actually go and sit and nail that interview.